The wind howled across the frozen sea, carrying sharp flakes of snow that stung like tiny needles. Out on the water, pieces of ice cracked and shifted, drifting further from the shore with every wave. Upon one of those ice floes sat a tiny seal pup, named Luma. Luma had been playing with her mother near the edge of the ice that morning. She had wriggled too far, chasing a snowflake, when suddenly cracked, a large sheet of ice broke away, drifting into the open sea. Before Luma could scramble back, the current carried her farther and farther. "Mother," she cried, her small voice echoing over the waves. But the distance grew too wide, and soon her mother's cries faded into the storm. Lone on the icy raft, Luma curled into a ball. The sea was endless around her, and the ice beneath her paws was growing smaller as the waves broke its edges apart. Fear gripped her tiny heart. Hours passed, and the storm grew worse. Then, through the snow, Luma saw a light beam sweeping across the waves. It was a rescue boat, crewed by people who patrolled the icy seas to protect stranded animals. "They're over there," one rescuer shouted, pointing to the small dark shape on the drifting floe. The boat pushed through the choppy water, its engine groaning against the waves. The rescuers tied ropes together, ready for the dangerous task. One of them, a young woman named Mara, stepped forward. "We can't wait, the ice is melting fast." Tying a rope around her waist, Mara climbed down toward the edge of the boat. With courage in her heart, she leaped onto the shifting floe. The ice cracked beneath her boots, but she didn't hesitate. "Easy, little one," she said softly, kneeling in front of the frightened pup. Luma whimpered, her big dark eyes wide, but Mara's gentle voice calmed her. Slowly, carefully, she scooped Luma into her arms. The crew pulled the rope, and together, Mara and Luma were hauled back onto the boat. Just as they stepped onto safety, the floe shattered into pieces and disappeared into the waves. The rescuers cheered. Luma blinked, confused but safe, nuzzling against Mara's coat. "You're going home, little one," Mara whispered with a smile. The boat turned back toward shore. When they reached the bay, Luma's mother was waiting anxiously on the ice, calling out. The moment she heard her pup's cry, she slid across the snow as fast as she could. The rescuers lowered Luma gently onto the ice. At once, mother and pup pressed close together, their cries filled with relief and joy. The family was whole again. The rescuers watched, their hearts warmed by the sight. Mara brushed snow from her coat and whispered, "Every life is worth saving." As the boat drifted away, the storm finally began to clear. The sun peeked through the clouds, shining across the glittering sea. And on the shore, a mother and pup curled together, safe, warm, and home again. Moral: even in the coldest moments of isolation, bravery and kindness can bring warmth and reunion.